It's windy this morning and it's a little bit cold, and the rooster started singing, but let's eat. Hey guys, what's up? So this morning we're just having a little bit of tea. I actually had some breakfast, some leftover stuff, nothing major. I just wanted to take a moment and kind of talk to you guys today about a couple of things that I had yesterday happen, and just kind of got me thinking. My wife was out there talking to our neighbor, and the neighbor has two kids very similar in age to our kids. We have Franco, who's 2, and Max, who's 4, and she has kids very similar in age. And so we were talking, and the conversation came up. That I was in school, trying to finish and whatever. So she was saying, "Oh yeah, I thought you guys had like 6 kids because there's always so much noise back there in your yard, and when you guys are out there playing and stuff." And which she wasn't complaining. She was just saying that she thought there was more kids. My kids scream and they jump, they go on the jumper and stuff like that. So we go out. We try to go out at least for an hour and a half. Franco doesn't really. Max actually doesn't like it as much. He'll play for an hour, then he wants to go inside and watch TV or do a tablet or whatever. Franco does. Franco really loves being out there. We could be out there for up to 2 hours, but it's just nice. We get a little bit of sun and fresh air. Well, the point is, she ended up saying that supposedly, when the conversation of me being in school came up, I mentioned to her that I was going to be finishing hopefully soon enough, and she said, "Oh, it's so difficult with these kids. I'm going crazy and this and that, and I wish I could do that. I tried, but it's impossible. There's no way." And so that kind of got me thinking this morning, and I started thinking about it. I'm like, I am guilty of that. I suffered that for so long, and I got to a point in my life where I'm reaching 40, and I'm like, hey, you know what? If I don't accomplish the stuff that I want to do in my life, which is very limited, and it could all end at any moment. You guys know I always mention that. And so it got me thinking, like, hey, you know what? I've been at this already for about 2 years, and I got to that mentality, and I was very much like her, and many of you out there, and including me sometimes still. But you know what, guys? It gets to that point where it's just like, hey, you know what? Life is what it is, and sometimes we think we don't have time, but it's just you don't prioritize it. We don't prioritize things. It's not that there isn't time, it's just that we're not prioritizing the things that even though we say they're important, they're not important to us, really. Like our diet and nutrition and education and things like that. So the reason I bring it up is because, for instance, I have to cook, I have to clean. Now that I'm at home, I'm cleaning all the time, I'm cooking all the time, I'm stretching, I'm working out, I'm doing roller. For my back, I have to foam roll. Yeah, you're always going to have time, man. You have to time manage. I know people mention that all the time, but it just caught me off guard when she's like, "Oh, there's no time for me. I wish I could go to school." And it's like, hey, life is ever fleeting, and it could be over any minute. And so we want to do something with this life, something that we find productive. And so if not going to school is your thing, hey, more power to you. I value education. I think there's value in it, not only financial but fulfillment. And so, but it's not for everybody. But whatever it is that your passion is, just go 100%, because you never know when it's all over, and you don't want to have that. Like, for instance, I'll give you an example. I always wanted to have a YouTube channel. I did it many years ago. I did a show for, not a show, but I did an episode for it, and never really followed up on it. Had people criticizing me. This is probably when YouTube was maybe a year or 2 years old. And people were criticizing, like, what are you doing? It's crazy, like, reviewing food. Like, who would ever do that? And so I kind of let negative comments get to me, and I was like, yeah, maybe they're right. Maybe I'm wasting my time doing that. And even right now, guys, as I'm filming episodes, because of the fact that, I'm not able to really do much. It's more of a eating type conversation situation. And I enjoy those types of shows. Believe it or not, I get a lot of fulfillment. There's good information. Sometimes it just feels good to hear people talk about things that we feel like that we're the only ones living through that, and that's not the case. We're not original to one issue or one problem. We're all feeling that same way, We are all having issues. Some people mask it very differently. And so for instance, with this episode thing, with this show, Let's Eat, I have episodes on there that I've put up, and I've put a lot of work into filming and editing and hours and stuff that like no views, and then I have one where it's like one view, and you're like, man, I wish people would see it and they would enjoy it and stuff like that. But you know what? It's a labor of love. It's something that I'm passionate about, and at this moment, it isn't necessarily, people aren't necessarily watching, but it is to be expected. But like I said, it's like it's something that I love. It's something I have passion for. So whatever your passion is, whatever you love to do it, because guess what? It's like you never know, and the last thing you want to do is regret it and be like, I never took a chance on it. What if? That what if is very, very tough and very powerful situation. So when I heard her tell me, like, oh, I don't have any time, I just can't do it, and I wish I could do it, and this and that's like, there's no such thing as wishing. I wake up at freaking 5:30 in the morning. I cook whatever it is. I film whatever I have to do. I'm done filming by 7 a.m. From 5:30 to 7 a.m. I'm filming, editing. The 3 times that I do 3 episodes a week. That's what I try to aim for. If I can do more, I'll do more. If I need to do less, I'll do less. But it isn't that easy. Like, it's not like anyone, like, but it's something that if you want to do it, you can do it. So when I hear people say, oh, I can't do it because I have this and I have that, and it's like, hey, all our lives are like that. You're not, these issues aren't original just to you. Like, any free time I have, I'm rolling my back, I'm cleaning, I'm cooking, I'm educating, helping Franco talk, potty training him, helping Max with learning his numbers, recognizing the numbers. He knows the numbers 1 through 10, but with the school system the way it is right now with the pandemic, it's a little more difficult. So, I was, like I said, I was very much like that. And so I'm able to discuss, this type of situation and tell you, hey, you know what? I'm not special. I don't have some superpower. I'm not a super motivated guy who, hey, I struggle. As soon as I like in the afternoon when I have to go do my homework, I do homework right now in the morning and I do some in the afternoon. Guess what? As soon as I grab my computer and my book, I start getting, my back aches, my head hurts a little bit, I have a little bit of anxiety. Guess what? Like, like my body's like, in my mind, they're like, oh, come on, like, go play your Switch or go watch that new TV show on Netflix. Like, you could do your homework later. You could do your homework later, and you have to break through it. You have to just jump in there. And once you jump in there, your mind's like, hey, you know what? I actually like this, because your brain likes to be challenged. It doesn't like to be overly challenged, but it likes to be challenged. So you just have to break through that. And it's not comfortable. Like, I could sit here and tell you, oh, it's super comfortable. Like, hey, man, I would rather be eating breakfast pizza every morning. But just, if we have a goal in mind and we want to do something, it's just, you can't do it. And so the goal, I guess the point of this episode today, there was no food. But the point was just to tell you guys that, you know what? If you want to do it, you can do it. And you just got to go all the way in, and give it all you got. And if you fall, you get back up. I know you hear this from everyone. You don't need to hear this from me, but I just wanted to bring it up because, like I said yesterday with the conversation, and it just made me think that it's just like, man, it's not easy. It's not. But guess what? The more you do it, the easier it will become. For me, all these things are now a routine. I look at myself and I'm like, if it wasn't for the pandemic, like, I would never have this type of control, this type of, I don't know what you would call it, but I would probably not have that. And thanks to the pandemic. So yeah, the pandemic has incredible negatives, but positive will come from it. Guys, I heard someone say, like, we'll never experience this in our lifetime again, where we have this amount of time available to us, where people weren't going to work or whatever, they were unemployed, whatever. And it all can be seen as negative. But as long as there's a breath in you, there's always a fight. There's always a new job. There's always, and I had to learn that when I, got out of the county for whatever reasons. I got into that hole where I was like, man, but you know what? I dug myself out really quick because I'm like, you know what? I can't just sit here licking my wounds. I got to keep moving. I got to keep moving. Life is not forever. Like, I wish we had a guarantee. There's no guarantees, man. And if it ends tomorrow, so it does, But while I'm here, I'm going to fight, and I suggest that you fight and you do what makes you happy, If for me it's education, for me it's physical. I want to be in the best shape possible for my kids. I want to be as healthy. I want to go into my later years to the best of my ability. And being unhealthy, eating junk food all the time, it's, being mentally stressed all the time, anxiety, it's not the way. And so it's not the way for me. And education, like I said, I value it so much. I'm impressed by people who get their diplomas, who's able to do it. I wasn't able to do it at a young age. I wasn't given the opportunity. But now that's all said and done, I'm taking things into my own hands. And, I'm asking you to do the same. Go out there, be amazing, be great, be the best you that you can be. That's all that we can do. So, hey guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode and today's talk. I hope that you get some value from it. I really hope that you like it. Comment below, like, subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know anything that you want to let me know about your goals and your what you feel that you want to do and stuff. So once again, guys, stay safe. Let's eat.
Cause I'm in the house, drunk in the house.